Yo, what's going on, everybody? So in today's video, we're going to be doing a bald fade. Pretty high to mid fade, not super high, but we're going to do a high fade right here with my client with the waves right here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to prep our client's waves before we start cutting. What I like to do is I like to comb out everything, just being sure everything's combed forward to where like nothing's uneven, making sure to comb his cowlick area out as well too. I'll show you right here, kind of like you want to go in a pattern. You don't want to, you want to make sure it's combed out completely, because you don't want to go over it and then end up cutting it too short against the grain. So you always want to make sure to cut with the grain. So right here, my client, he does a 1.5, so I like to tend to start with the cowlick area. So when cutting the cowlick area, I just kind of go where the direction of the hair where it's flowing. That's why it's so important that you comb down every hair straight out to get the full cut down area, because if you don't, you might not, you get done with the cut and then there's still like a bush of hair sticking up in that cowlick area. So right here, we're just gonna go over the top of our client's waves with the 1.5 closed. 1.5, keeping it still dark enough to have those waves popping. Typically the wavelength number is 1, but 1.5 is kind of like a good wavelength to still keep it dark all the way around. So now we're going to start with our first initial guideline. And so with this bald fade, I'm going to show you guys basically like 2 techniques that we can do with doing a bald fade. So on one side, I'll start with balding out the bottom line, and this side I'll leave the guideline that I've just put in right here. So I'm gonna wrap that all the way around to the other side and then meet right back in the middle of the back of the head. And this is pretty much easy to do. You start right at the corner of the temple, since we are doing a bald fade. Some might take it high, but I like to just be cautious on making sure I don't bring it up too high. I'm not trying to make it look like a military style fade, just like a clean high fade. And so right here on the right side of my client's head, I'm gonna go ahead and shave everything underneath with my liners. And I'm pretty much not a fast-paced barber. I'm not your 15-minute barber. I'm an hour 15, maybe an hour 30-minute barber. I like to take my time. I enjoy what I do. And then also why I take my time is too just ensuring that I get every hair balding out underneath, to where I don't have to really go back at the end of the cut and clean it up. So right here, I'm gonna leave the left side as it is, and then the right side, it's just 2 different styles of techniques. Some people leave the hair at the end. Some people like to, bald out the whole thing. So I'm gonna show you guys 2 different techniques. Me personally, at first, I would do the first guideline and I would leave the hair underneath, but I do more of this type of style technique where I'll bald everything down. So right here, I got my 1 guard. I'm just smoothing out the bulk on the side of my client's head, bringing that down into the shape of the fade that I'm gonna blend down to. So right here, I'm just starting, I'm meeting right in the middle. I'm not starting off with, no guard, clipper open. I like to start from high and work my way down to low, and then kind of work my way back into the middle, just ensuring that I'm not taking my bald guideline super far up and then it be uneven the whole cut. And so, I work my way up from my highest, from a 3 to a 2, and now we are at a 1.5. So I'm kind of like just slowly, gradually blending it down, kind of like in the sense of like shadowing it, and then just making it pop once I blend it right up. And so we're just working our way down slowly. We'll eventually get there as the steps proceed. So now I'm just cutting down with the number that I started with that 1.5, just ensuring one more round of smoothness. And then I'll hit it one more time with the number 1 clip. And then I'll work my way down from lever open to lever closed. And so right here, I'm gonna start my next round. And so now I have my 1 guard on. I'm putting in my second guideline after debulking and smoothing everything out. And then I'll also be taking it up about 1 inch, nothing higher than that. And then I'm gonna blend out that line, 1.5, then meet back right in the middle, so where we can balance out that dark line in the middle. And then you're just gonna kind of see it all come together. And I know at times, like when you're trying to do a fade, you barely like touching it, not really going up as high. I learned to come to find out, like, that's what you have to do. Like, you got to get comfortable with it. I know in the beginning stages of my career, like, I was still timid and scared to be moving that quick. But in reality, that's something that you got to do. Like, that's where the blend meets with, you know, just like smoothness and like gradually blending into the top. So my thing is, I like to kind of like gradually blend down the bulkness and then blend up into it. So like, as you can see here, like I'm blending up into it, smoothing it out, and then I'm just repeating. It's like a wash and repeat system. I'm gonna go ahead and once I get back to my other guideline that I'm gonna create, it's gonna have no guard. So like right here, so reset the system, just a lower guard this time, go up about 1 inch. And then we're gonna, next step after this, we're gonna blend out that dark line we just created with our half guard. And there's plenty of ways, like somebody could have had this done a lot sooner, but these are just easy steps that you can follow. This is what works best for me. It's just a method, everybody cuts different. So whatever works best for you, rock with that. But this is what works best for me. Just my blending system to where like I meet back in the middle, and then I'll reset the process again. So like now, like I'm just kind of like just blending up into the top of it like I was doing before. And so now we're going to the next lowest that I can go. So I'll grab my liners and blend that line out. And then next I'll go no guard, lever closed. And these are good 0 gaps. So these are the next closest things to, you know, where my liners are taking the line out. And then I'll slowly, gradually open that lever, blending all the way up. So right here is my lineup technique. I usually typically like to use spritz. I'll typically cut down the front of the line, laying everything down flat before I start lining it. And then I'll go ahead and take my liners after blow drying it, holding the hair in place. Then I'll go in and create my sharp lining. Typically I like to start from the middle to the sides. Like I said, everything's all preference. You can start wherever you want. I typically just I like to start in the middle. Sometimes I'll switch it up. Sometimes I'll start on the corners like where I'm doing now, and then I'll go start in the middle. But whatever's pretty much comfortable for you. So this right here is another one of my techniques I like to do. I like to take the barber pencil and I like to rub it against my glove, and I like to get like a nice little tone. So I'll get like white and like a light brown, and I'll mix that in between with the white, and then having its darkest color both on top, white and tan. This is just kind of like trying to get that crisp line. Nothing too crazy to where, people are drawing it on for attention, like you see like on social media, TikTok and things like that. It's not for that. It's just more just enhancing the detail in the cut. So that's my technique on it. So I'll, rub my liners across it, and then I'll just lightly tap. And so now we go on to our other side. Everything's the same steps. The only thing that's different is we didn't bald out the bottom half of the fade. We're just kind of just having that satisfying feel of the blend just pop out a little bit more. And that's what I used to do for in the beginning of when I first started doing fades, like for like my content. I was like, I'm gonna get this for like the last end, because it was just kind of like a satisfying shot of, cutting the bottom half of the hair and then just bam into, that final look of the haircut. So everything's being debulked, and then me down in the middle. Like I said, I like to meet right back in the middle with everything. I'll debulk and kind of shadow everything out first, and then kind of like reset my process from the beginning, just with a lower number. So before was the 1 guard, and then now it's no guard. And then the next start for the next guideline will be the liners, taking out that bottom line and then working our way back up into the middle. And so we're about a finger length width of making our second guideline, or I would say our third guideline, because our 1 guard created that first guideline. So now we got the guard on, we're blending back up with that half guard, smoothing everything out before we reset our steps again. So I'll tap it with the 0 gap clippers one more time before I head back over to my liners to start to flick everything out so there's no lines left in our fade. And it's always good to just keep going over your work. Like, yeah, you can be done, but there's no such thing as like why wouldn't somebody want a super detailed cut, making sure everything's just on point. And so right here, I'm just kind of like balding everything out. It's kind of like that satisfying look just for the gram, you know what I'm saying? Like just for the content purposes. So, that was just fun to do back then. Like it looks like a clean shot. And then afterwards, you can get the clean shot for, your Instagram or TikTok videos, just showing you, just satisfying shots, because that's really what matters with content on social media. It's just having satisfying angles, satisfying shots. So right here, I'm adding small little details. The lineups were cool before. The lineup was cool before, just adding some minor details that make a super difference. Like, it's not just average. Like, something's popping about the cut. And my client right here, he never did enhancements. So this is what a detailed, natural, enhanced cut will look like. So right there, that was just like a scissor thinning out technique, just getting out like the dark little crumble spots in the fade that you see. And then I take my thinning razor and I'll just blend everything down. So these right here, this is for like the satisfying shots for social media. Like that, this shot right here could do like 100,000 just cause like that short film content, and then this being the cover photo. So that's why it's good to do that type of method. If you want to do that, you're getting the satisfying shot of just now, bam, like the fade is just coming in together now that I took out that bottom half. So that's pretty much the reason for that. That's how I used to do my haircuts. I barely do that now. It just depends. It's all preference, bro. Like, you can really cut however you want to cut. Nobody's there to tell you you're doing it wrong. So right here, I'm starting with doing his beard, cleaning up his beard, making sure that pops for him. My client still likes to keep his mustache not too thin, but not too thick, not like some hunk status. So even though it doesn't look like he has much, but with the details, you pay attention enough, you can really make things pop. It's like if you're doing like 15-minute haircuts, don't get this type of quality, nor this type of quality service. So right here, I'll keep it right underneath the jawline, still keeping it midsection, nothing too high. It didn't even look like there was much there to begin with. Now you're starting to see details come in effect. Slowly coming together. Just gonna do the other side. Apply the same steps, not too thick, not too thin for the mustache. And then after all this, that's when we'll do the razor work and we'll start to get, more detail. So everything's coming together. It didn't look like it in the beginning. He had a beard to work with, but now everything's starting to pop. Another technique I like to do is spraying the hot towel with some alcohol, just giving it a fresh scent. This is a small detail that's really effective when it comes to doing a quality premium service. Remember when I first got into the shop, a lot of barbers weren't using it. Nearly nobody was using it, and their clients wanted that, but they didn't offer it. And then it wasn't until they see me getting so many clients as I was new there, they felt like they were just all coming to me because I did the hot towel, which, in a sense it was, because nobody was doing that. But, I wasn't charging what everybody was charging. I was charging a little bit more. But people understood that. It's like, oh, he's doing premium. He's doing hot towels with every client. He's not skipping a beat. And so right here, I did some detail work once again. Throughout the whole cut, it's just all detail work. It's like, yeah, haircut, but we're finishing off with detail with every step we're doing. Even right here, we're getting small detail, forehead hair. Like, people miss out on forehead hair, but not knowing like that's a big. It stands out. Like the cut stands out a lot more. Like, people don't realize, but everybody has forehead hair, maybe baby hair, but if you clean that off with your clippers, you'll see the difference. So right here, I'll just add some little beard oil. Another premium tip to your service, something that smells good. They'll walk out the shop smelling that the rest of the day. Just leaving them with that smell, like that fresh cut. Just left the barbershop earlier today. And so right here, we're going back in and detailing again, because the hot towel stuff took away all the detail, which is okay, but we're finishing off our client with that pop look, that premium finish look. Bam, premium. Can't do this in 15 minutes. You can't. You can try, but you just can't. I can't, at least. That's all that matters. But and people pay for that. So these are the detailing tips that I recommend you guys doing with every haircut service that you do, no matter how long it takes you. So that's pretty much it with my fade process on my high fade with waves on my client right here with a 1.5 on top. I hope this video helped you guys out with either side of any of the techniques that I showed. I hope you guys could grab some from this video and apply it to your guys' craft.